Hey everybody, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, FACCI'S Cinema. Tonight I am going to be doing my top horror movies from 2022. It was a great year in horror. There was a shit ton of cool stuff that came out. There was some bad, of course, there always is, but way more good than bad this year, in my opinion. Just got to hang out for a little bit until Nick gets here, and we're going to dive into our top 10 horror movies from 2022. I figured why not do a live stream? I didn't have anything else planned for tonight, so why not just dive on in? And, if you catch it on the playback, please let me know what is in your top 10. You don't got to put all top 10. You can put a couple. Put your top 3, top 1. It's all good with me. Looking forward to diving in here tonight, for sure. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time. It's going to be the last stream of the year for me. And then I will be back, first week of January. Me and Destiny will be starting our new little show together. Movies we haven't seen, starting with the Amityville Horror from 1979. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time for sure. Continuing the BTM behind the Mass Movie Podcast. And what else we got going on? Continuing that. Going to continue my Nightmare on Elm Street watch-along series. We got that going on. So, a lot of good stuff. Hopefully, the new year, brings some new successes, some new avenues for me. That's all we can hope for. But I don't really know what is going to be number one on my list. I'm not sure. Could be Halloween. Could be Scream. Maybe Pearl, X, Fresh, Texas Chainsaw. So many good choices out there, and it's going to be interesting. Definitely going to be interesting to see what comes in first place. But yeah, how are you guys doing tonight? What's going on? Hey, Boogman, Lamontra, what's up? How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you're having a great night. Let's see what we got going on. This past weekend? This past week, last Thursday, went to the movies to see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I highly recommend going to check that out. I'm not really the biggest animation, kids movie kind of guy, but that movie was really, really good. It had me laughing, had me rolling all over the place. Definitely go check it out. I highly recommend you go check it out. For sure. Because we got called off work last Friday because the weather was so bad where I am. So I figured, why not go to the movies? I never get to go to the movies with my family, especially during the daytime. So that's what we did. We went to the movies, hung out. It was a good time. Really enjoy those kind of times because there's not that many of them. My dog's usually working a lot, so don't really have the time, unfortunately, to do these fun things. But work, is what it is. Very excited tonight to be here. Hopefully, get some more people to turn up, and let's dive into this bad boy. It's gonna be a good time for sure. What do we got coming in the new year? We have a new Scream movie coming out in March, Scream 6. Very much looking forward to that. DJ, what's up, buddy? Very much looking forward to Scream 6 for sure. What else we got coming out? I doubt the Crystal Lake TV show is going to be out, but you never know. If they fast track it, it could be coming out. We got The Strangers coming back. Not that we needed it or asked for it, but it is coming back. What else are we going to get? Evil Dead Rise. We're going to get that. I'm not the biggest Evil Dead guy, but, I'll definitely check it out for sure. And then, it's those surprise movies that we have no idea that were coming. They're the ones that surprise us. And that was definitely the truth for 2022 because definitely did not even see any trailers or anything for half of those movies. Went in blind, saw them. They were fantastic. I loved it. And yeah, looking forward to hopefully 2023 brings us the same thing. Unfortunately, we will not be getting a new Halloween movie, unfortunately. Aaron Click, what's going on, buddy? Nick will be here shortly. You know, it's weird because the past couple of years, you know, we had the anticipation of a new Halloween movie. We had, or, you know what I mean? We had a Halloween movie coming out, or there was still some time before we knew we were getting another Halloween film. And after Halloween ends, who knows the next time we're going to get it? It depends. If the Crystal Lake TV show does great on Peacock, you bet your ass that Halloween will be right behind it. And we might get a Michael Myers Halloween TV show. Who knows? Might get an anthology series based on, you know, the Silver Shamrock Avenue. Who knows? But either way, I think give it some time, and we should be rocking and rolling with some more Halloween content for sure. I know we got my boy DJ, Halloween Retribution, the Halloween fan film taking place right after Halloween Resurrection. Yep. I can't. It's going to be a good time, dude. Very excited for you. Very excited for you. You're working really hard behind the scenes, and I'm very proud of what you've done so far for sure, dude. We got that coming out. What else we got? We got James Grimm working on one as well. Halloween Aftermath, I believe it's called. A lot of great stuff. And, you know, if we're not going to get the real thing, we might as well get some amazing fan films while we're at it. Crandon, my dude, what's going on, brother? Aaron Click says, I'm looking forward to a bit of a break from the Halloween franchise as much as I love it. I thought I was, but it's kind of sad knowing that we're not going to get one this year. I just rewatched Halloween Ends yesterday again, and I know a lot of people are not huge fans of it. I absolutely loved it from the moment that I saw it, and I'm glad that some people are finally coming around to enjoying it as much as I do. But who knows? Maybe it's definitely going to get a cult following. I guarantee it, because it always happens. Lamontra, welcome back, buddy. Brandon says it's going to be interesting to see if the Black Phone, if you love the Black Phone as much as I did. I think you will be very pleasantly surprised, my dude, where I put it. There's Nick right now. Let me message him back. My boy fell asleep, but that's all right. He's coming. The Black Phone, we're going to see. We're going to see. I'll give you a hint. It's definitely on my list. It is on my top 10 from 2022. Honestly, let me take a look at my shoot, I don't have it on my new phone. I got a new phone. I don't have Letterboxd on here, I don't think yet. Let me get it. I'm not exactly sure how many movies I watched total. I know I watched at least 20 horror movies, I would say. I know a lot of people watch a lot more, but they probably got more fucking time than I do. I don't have as much free time as others do. I got a lot of freaking kids, and I work a lot, and it is what it is. But I enjoy the movies I do get to watch, and I definitely, whenever I get the time, I'll watch the movies. Let me see if I can sign into my freaking account. Probably don't even know my shit. Probably not. Don't you hate that shit when you got a lot of passwords and you don't even remember them? Because I'm trying to figure it out mine right now, and I have no freaking clue. Okay, that was not my password. Who'd have freaking thought that shit? But guys in the chat that are in there right now, what is your favorite movie from 2022? Horror movie, of course. Let me know. I see Nick down there. He's getting his stuff situated. Let me see. Let's see. There, what's up, Nick?
Oh, shit, man. I literally just woke up from a nap.
Oh, what's a nap, dude? I'm surprised you even get time to take those.
Well, I don't have my son tonight, so...
You crashed.
Yeah, dude. I ate when I got home from work, and next thing I knew, I was asleep.
I don't know how people take naps, man. I really try. I just can't do it.
I'm honestly not a big fan of them because it makes me feel groggy and stuff. But like, I just couldn't. I couldn't help it. I was at my wife's house last night. I spent the night with her, and so up late, talking to her and stuff. So I'm pretty tired. But here I am.
I was gonna say, at the wife's house, I'm hoping that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to hear, buddy. Good to freaking hear. Well,
how you doing?
I'm not bad. Today was a busier day at work today than it was for like Christmas, so that was kind of weird, but it is what it is. I don't know. We were behind last week because I didn't work Friday. They actually called us off, which like never happens, like ever. But our planes couldn't make it in, so I got the day off and got to hang out with the family and went to the movies for like the first time in fucking forever. So it was a good time. Good time. I saw you did your top movies from the year last night. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to ruin it for myself to see what you had. But I'm looking forward to this. I know every channel's doing it, so I figured why not just do it live. Get it out of the way this way because I hate pre-recorded shit very much, so I'd rather just do this.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So let's see. Honorable mentions. I'm not going to talk about them too much. Just going to mention some. The new Hellraiser movie would be an honorable mention for me. I'm not the biggest Hellraiser fan, but I thought it was pretty good for going like straight to a streaming service. I thought they did a really good job with it. I thought Pinhead was fine. I know a lot of people didn't like the characters that much. They didn't bother me that much either. Overall, it was a good time for me not enjoying Hellraiser as much as other people do. Another one for me would be Smile. I know a lot of people love Smile. It was okay. Not really my kind of horror flick, I guess. Copied a lot of stuff from other movies that I like It Follows and whatnot, but it was decent for what it was. Another one for me would be The Sadness. That was freaking one of the most. It was a pretty brutal zombie / infection movie I've ever seen. I mean, fucking sticking dicks in eye holes and shit. It's fucking weird, but it was a good time. And last one for me would be Prey. I know a lot of people are huge on that one as well. I'm not the biggest Predator fan either, but I thought Prey was fun. It was for being straight to Hulu. I thought it was a good time. So those would be my honorable mentions. Which do you have as honorable mentions?
So there's two movies that a lot of people are putting on their list that I consider to be more, I don't know, you can call them horror if you want, but like I consider them to be a little bit more sci-fi action, and that would be like honorable mentions would be like Nope, Prey. I loved Prey, but I wouldn't put it on a horror list personally.
True.
And then Bodies was fine. It was one of those movies where like I watched it, I saw it in theaters, and it was like fine. Like I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was just there. And Smile. Although like Smile had a few moments that I thought were genuinely like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Overall, yeah, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. Like I'd seen a lot of that before in like curse horror movies and stuff. So it was just like, it was fine. I mean, a lot of people were up in arms about it in a good way. Like, oh my God, I loved it. It was so good. And it's like, I'm happy for you, if it worked that well for you. But for me, it was just fine. It was
pretty much just like It Follows with just a different version of it, in which I know people love It Follows or they hate It Follows. I do love It Follows, but if I want to watch that kind of a movie, I'm just going to watch that one. Smile,
It Follows is just more interesting. Better score, better cinematography. Yeah.
Let me see. What's up, Robert the Wolfman? How's it going, Mental X? What's going on? All right. So I don't want to piss anybody off with my number 10, so I'm just going to let you go give your number 10 first.
Nope. You're going first now.
It's going to piss you off, too.
Hit me.
Number 10 is Terrifier 2.
Okay.
I know everybody loves it. I get it. It's fun. My first negative, it's 2.5 hours long, and I'm not a long movie kind of guy. So that kind of takes it down a notch just for me. Second, I prefer the first Terrifier over the second one.
Really?
I didn't even like the first one that much, but after I watched the second one, I kind of appreciated the griminess of the first one. Yes, I mean, David Howard Thornton is amazing as Art the Clown, obviously. Without saying a word, he's fantastic. He's creepy as hell. Goes from playful and fun to psychotic in this drop of a dime. Obviously, the fuck's her name? Man, what's the final girl in the new one?
Lauren Lavera, Sienna.
Yes, she was a badass, as obvious as anybody could tell. Obviously, she was kick-ass compared to the first one. But I don't know. I just thought it kind of dragged on, and I thought, yes, I know there's supposed to be gore, but it was just, I don't know. It was just gore to be gore, and it really didn't add anything for me personally. But I do like the score. I like the creepiness, but it just wasn't good enough to go any higher for me. And I did buy the Steelbook, so I can't say I hated it, obviously.
I'm actually trying to find my list right now because I'm having trouble remembering my number 10. And I did this last night, as you know. So I'm like, okay, I put my list somewhere. Oh, goodness. Dear Lord, I'm going to have to try to do this off memory, I guess. Shit. All right. So number 10 was it was either number 10 or number 9 that I had this, and let me see if let me see. Rudy, if you were here in the live chat, you would be able to remind me what my number 10 was.
That was the only one that I heard, and I can't remember it.
Oh, shit. Honestly, if I pull...
Yo, Garrett, what's up, man? Garrett, my dude. Always looking fly in his videos. He looks so freaking fresh. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Mud Nelson, who said Terrifier 2 was his number 1 of the year.
So my number 10 was one that a lot of people were really high on that I thought was good. I mean, it made my top 10, so, and that's Barbarian. I rewatched Barbarian again the other night, and I felt like the same as I did the first time I saw it. I love the first half of the movie. I think it's suspenseful. I think it's creepy. I think it makes you ask a lot of questions. And then, you get to the second half, and it's definitely something. Like, it's a trip, for sure. But I much preferred the vibe and the tone of the first half. And then watching it a second time, once you know everything that's coming, it's just kind of like, it does kind of hurt the rewatch value a little bit because it's not surprising anymore. So I really really like Barbarian, but I wish it would have been more like the first half of the movie the entire time. So that's my number 10.
Not a bad choice. That's on my list, but I won't talk about it yet. Another one I forgot, no, that's not on my list. Another one I forgot to mention in honorable mention would have been Fresh. I forgot about that one. That was a fucking long time ago that came out with Sebastian Stan. I thought that was pretty unique and pretty cool, but wasn't good enough to make the top 10. I forgot to mention that one.
Okay.
Number 9, I actually have. I guess it's horror. It's more comedy than anything. Day Shift with Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco. I don't know what it was about it. It obviously wasn't scary whatsoever, but anything Dave Franco in, I usually love because he's freaking hilarious. And little Snoop Dogg cameos were great. I'm not really a vampire kind of guy, but something about it just really worked. It was fun. Even my wife doesn't even really like these movies, and she watched it with me, and she really enjoyed it. It definitely has rewatchability factor going for it. Just the music that it uses, and just the chemistry between Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco in the movie. I don't really hear anybody talk about it, and I know people probably don't even consider it horror at all. But I really liked it, so I have to go with Day Shift at number 9.
Well, you just mentioned my number 9, one that surprised me because a lot of people had talked about it, and I didn't watch it until probably like 2 months ago, and that was Fresh. I was genuinely surprised by Fresh. I really was, because although a lot of people had talked highly of it, I was just kind of like, it's one of those things. Most of the time when that happens, I'm like, we'll see, you know. And I watched it, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. Most of the movie is, I don't know, very more like isolation, kind of suspense, mystery, thriller, whatever you want to call it. And then the last 10-15 minutes are just way out there, which were, and they're insane, and they're gory, and they're over the top, and I dug the shit out of the movie. I really, really thought it was a good movie, and it's a shame that it's a Hulu exclusive, because we're probably not going to get a Blu-ray of it, which is a bummer, because I really liked it. And that's a movie I'd like to own. So yeah, one that definitely surprised me, kind of came out of nowhere. And that'd be my number 9.
I think if I would have rewatched that one prior to doing this list, it might have made it, because that came out at the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't watched it since then, so it might go up a little bit. It definitely was unexpected. I didn't know what exactly it was. For a lot of these movies this year, I didn't watch the trailers. I just kind of watched the movie. Obviously, besides like Halloween, because it's fucking Halloween. But all the other ones are pretty much going in blind, which I think it really does make a big difference when you watch a movie for the first time. Not knowing shit about it, kind of like Barbarian. I had no freaking clue what it was about. I didn't know it was a horror movie at all. And that's one of those movies that really does work, not watching the trailer and just going in and being surprised. That's what I think a lot of us as horror fans don't get to be surprised, because the internet, we just look up everything and know exactly what's going to go on before we go into the movie, and it kind of takes away. But it's good to find these gems that you don't know anything about, and so they surprise you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, what's your number 8?
My number 8. I had to go. I went with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know it's not the best. I know, but it was fun. It was really fun. I thought Leatherface was brutal. I know the characters are pretty shitty, but the Sally Hardesty thing was terrible. But the kills were cool. The bus massacre was badass. That we finally got a Texas Chainsaw Massacre in one of these movies with a chainsaw. People getting cut the hell up in the bus. Blood everywhere. Yes, I know. He says, "Dude, you're canceled, bro." I just thought it was hilarious. I didn't really think it was woke. I didn't really care. It just really worked for me, and I like that. It's been a while since I watched this one too, but that the main dude in the town, that the guns and shit. I liked his character a lot, and he was going toe to toe with Leatherface. It's unfortunate he got his ass kicked and his leg got broke and all that shit, but it worked. And then the final scene, when they're freaking driving away and he freaking yanks that girl out and cuts her fucking head off and is holding it there, I thought it was freaking badass. I really enjoyed it. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that one doesn't make my list, but you're not the only one. Justin had that on there as well. My number 8 is going to be one that I was not looking forward to. Because it had been so long since the first one came out, and on top of that, I just had no idea how they were going to make this work, and the trailers didn't sell me at all. And that's Orphan First Kill. Watching it, going into it with very low expectations, because like I said, I hated the trailer. I thought it looked cheap. I really did, and I was like, hey, this is going to suck balls. No, Orphan First Kill. One of those examples where the marketing completely let the movie down, because the movie itself, they handled the premise really well. It looks believable. It was, it's a very competently made movie. And on top of that, it's got twists and turns and surprises that were genuinely like, oh, damn, I didn't see that coming. But most of all, above all else, it was super fun. And anytime, that's the cardinal sin with a movie, any kind of movie, is being boring. If your movie's boring, you're screwed. And this movie was the opposite of boring. This movie is really fun. So I would put that at number 8.
Good pick. Good. I never I saw Orphan First Kill before I've seen the first one. I never had any interest in it. I honestly thought it was a PG-13 film, so I stayed away from it. And then once I found out that it was rated R, I was like, I gotta fucking watch it.
Well,
And
not just that, man. I genuinely think that it's better than the first one, and that's just me. I know that's not the most popular opinion, but yeah, I think it's better than the first one.
I actually agree with you. I do.
Okay.
Okay. My number 7, I have Deadstream. Little low budget flick, directed by Joseph Winter, and he was actually the main dude in it. I had no idea what this movie was. Another channel I watched reviewed it, and I was like, that sounds pretty fun. And it was a blast. It was, making fun of YouTubers, and I thought, doing this, all the time. I thought that was pretty damn funny, watching somebody kind of make fun of us, but not really. And it was kind of like, I'm not an Evil Dead fan either, but it brought a lot of Evil Dead into that movie with some found footage, which I'm also not a huge fan of. But being that it only focuses on one person for the majority of the movie, you have to really like that character. And I thought Joseph Winter did a great job as the main character. And he was funny. He was an asshole, douchebag kind of guy, but he also was charming and brought the comedic flair that you needed to hold our attention for an hour and a half. And I know I don't see a lot of people talk about that one either that much, but if you haven't seen it, anybody, go check it out. It's a riot. It's a fun-ass time. And if you like Evil Dead, you're probably going to really, really like it because it takes a lot of what that movie did and kind of shoves it into this version of it.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. And I'm picky as fuck, so.
Well, my number 7 is going to be a movie that near the beginning of the year I would have had probably much higher. But so many good movies came out this year. So number 7 is going to be The Black Phone. The Black Phone's a movie that I genuinely don't have any complaints with. I guess if I had one, it would just be that I wanted to see more of the grabber, like his crimes leading up to getting Finney and his kind of maybe more, not necessarily his origin, but I don't know, maybe more of the heinous shit this guy did. But I think it's a great movie. I think Ethan Hawke is great. I think the acting as a whole. Yeah. All right. The acting as a whole was great. And I thought that it really felt and looked like a movie that took place in the 70s. And I thought it was a killer movie. I mean, I didn't really have any complaints with it.
That's what I tend to hear from a lot of these 2022 rankings. The Black Phone's on people's lists. It's just good enough to be on the list, but there's nothing bad about it. It's weird. It's a good movie, but people really don't have that much to say about it.
Because it's really solid. It is a really solid movie, but it doesn't stand out as much as some of the others that are higher on the list. Like you watch it, you think about it, you talk about it, you're like, wow, it's a really good movie. But there's just something missing to make it, top 5 for me. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. My number 6, I've only seen one other channel put this movie on their list, and I'm gonna be the second one. Beast with Idris Elba. I freaking love the shit out of it. It was a fun. I guess it's horror. I guess. If Cujo's horror, then this is fucking horror. The fucking lion looked great. Yes, it was CG. Still looked really, really good. It was very hard to tell. Idris Elba is a man. That's a man right there. Anything he's in is usually pretty damn good. I really did enjoy him in the movie. I had low expectations going in. Me and the wife went. Wasn't expecting much. Really, really enjoyed it. And this is another one of those movies with a few characters. So if you don't like them, you're not really going to like the movie. And Idris Elba did a great job. His chemistry with his daughters was great. The cinematography was beautiful. I don't know if they really shot the movie in Africa, but if they probably did. It looked amazing. And like I said, the CGI lion, even though it was CGI, it still looked fantastic. It was brutal. Pretty cool kills, actually, for being an animal movie. I just really, really enjoyed it more than I ever thought I would. So Beast at number 6.
Yeah, I still haven't checked that one out, but I believe Mike from We Watched a Movie had that on his list. So
That's the YouTuber I was talking about.
yeah, yeah. Number 6 for me is going to be one that actually was one of my most anticipated of the entire year. It's Hellraiser. And I hear a lot of people's arguments about Hellraiser, like, oh, well, I didn't like any of the characters. And like, to that, I would say, well, that was the point. They were all supposed to be really damaged, fractured characters that you're not necessarily into. Some people would say the Cenobite designs looked a little too clean. And I hear that, but I think it was more or less that they're trying to make them look more attractive than anything else, because obviously the Hellbound Heart, it's all about, I don't know, these creatures are very like sensual creatures. So, but all that aside, I just loved the world that David Bruckner seems to be building with it. I loved the lament configuration having multiple stages and designs. I loved the house that was basically like a lament configuration in and of itself. I really liked Jamie Clayton as Pinhead. I really liked some of the kills. I loved the score. I think it's really, really solid. And, especially in a franchise full of sequels that are just dog shit. This was a very nice, like, finally a Hellraiser movie with a budget, with good cinematography, with competent performances. Like, yeah. So I really dug Hellraiser.
And if I'm not mistaken, you're a bigger Hellraiser fan than me, I believe, right?
Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite horror franchises.
I don't know. I never got into Hellraiser.
Well, I think the first 4 movies are really, really solid. I think the original Hellraiser is a classic. I think Hellbound is my favorite. Hellbound is just everything the first one did turned up to 11. It's a lot more fantastical and bigger, and I like that. Hell on Earth, although it definitely is a dip in quality from the first 2, it is super fun, and you get some really memorable Pinhead stuff in that movie. And then Bloodline is a movie that I genuinely think there was a great movie in there, but because of the reshoots and the changing of directors and just a lot of things, it was a little bit fractured, but I still think it's a really solid movie. And then everything after that, I could take or leave. I really could. I don't like Inferno. I know a lot of people do. I don't. Hellseeker is genuinely awful. They wasted bringing back Kirsty Cotton. I don't even want to talk about it. It's pathetic. Deader, first half of the movie's really interesting, and then it just falls down a cliff. Hellworld is fun, but not good. Revelations is a cinematic abomination. And Judgment, God bless Gary Tunnicliffe. We had him on the podcast, and he directed it. I really liked Gary, but it's just a movie that was so hindered by its budget and scale and everything that it's so unmemorable. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, watching that entire franchise, man, you get a gold star if you watch them all.
That's a franchise where I might have, but I don't remember anything about them, to be honest.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yes. What's up, Sebastian? Jamie, how are you? All right. My number 5 is one you already mentioned, Orphan First Kill. I didn't watch another one of those movies. I didn't watch the trailer. Like I said, I'd never seen the first one, so I honestly didn't know what this was even about. I just saw it on, what was that on? Paramount Plus, I believe, right? I think that's where that was streaming. I saw it on there. I figured, why the fuck not? That was great. I thought it was really, really good. The kills were cool. It was creepy. That girl, Esther, was freaking twisted as balls. Julia Stiles did a great job. I haven't seen her in anything in a very long time, so very refreshing to see her in something else. I thought she did a great job, too. Yet the family was a bunch of pieces of shit and kind of like wanted them to die because they were snobby assholes. But it was really good. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't really know what the movie was about. I had no interest in ever watching the first one. But after watching this one, I was like, I gotta go watch the other one to see where this one is gonna go. And it was weird, like watching. Obviously, she was a lot older in First Kill, so it was then going back to watch the first one when she was actually young. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could tell she was a lot older in First Kill in real life, but they did the best they could, and I thought it was fine. I heard people say it was like cheap, and I didn't think it looked cheap. I thought it looked fine. It looked fine. And the finale with the burning house and everything, and then she's just the victim. I thought it was genuinely creepy, and those people, you're desperate like that, you might do that kind of stuff. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. It was a surprise, like most of the movies on this fucking list. So, Orphan First Kill, number 5.
So number 5 for me is going to be one that most people have a lot higher. A lot of people are having this at 1 and 2 on their lists, and that is Pearl. Now, once you get into the top 5, I mean, it's really like splitting hairs here. I love all of them, and I think they're all genuinely great movies. And Pearl is no exception to that. I think that Pearl is a great story. I think that it's I mean, Mia Goth deserves a nomination, like 100%, just for that monologue alone. She earned it, and the Academy can suck a fat one because they don't give a shit about horror, and that's fine. But, Pearl is a lot less the type of horror movie you would think. I don't agree with people when they say that it's not really a horror movie. It is 100% a horror movie. It's just more or less a character study than a slasher movie. But I think it's a genuinely great movie. I really, really do. And I think that it's a movie that actually makes you appreciate X even more. So Pearl, number 5, not a single complaint with the movie at all. None.
Pearl did not make my list because I did not like the movie at all. And I'm about the only person I've ever heard that even fucking says that, but I didn't like it. So, that's all there is to it. Mia Goth was great. I'm nothing against her performance at all. It just not. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of X either. So this was like a step back for me compared to X. So I definitely wasn't feeling it. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying full attention to it. I don't know. Everybody likes it. Like I said, I'm about the only person I know that doesn't. So
yeah,
not on my list. And neither is X. So, and that's on everybody's list, but mine. So unique.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing against anybody who likes them. They're fine. They're fine. Well, X is fine. Pearl I don't like, but that's okay. That's all right. We're all. And there's a movie on this list higher up. A lot of people fucking hate that one too, but to each their own.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I got a feeling. But,
it hasn't been mentioned yet on either one of our lists, so yeah, it's up there.
What's your next one?
Number 4 for me is Barbarian. Another one of those blind watch, and honestly, anything Justin Long's in, I'm kind of a sucker for. So,
hell yeah, bitch!
This movie could have been a piece of shit, and I probably still like it just because Justin Long is in here. I don't know, like. I hate A24 films, but he's in Tusk, and what do you know? I fucking like Tusk. So something about Justin Long I just can't get enough of. And I can't think of the main girl's name. I think it's Georgina something. Georgina Campbell, maybe? She was great as the main girl. Bill Skarsgård was great. It's weird seeing him out of the Pennywise outfit, but he was great. Didn't know where the movie was going at all. Like you said in the beginning, in the first 2/3 was like, what the fuck is this about? You think, Keith is definitely going to be bad because they're conveniently rented this place on the same day and he's magically there. And I was like, oh, he's going to kidnap her and put her in the basement or something. Didn't go that way at all. Not at all. And the naked lady thing, fucking weird, but, she's making people suck her titty and shit. It's very unique. Odd.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. She just wants to have a baby, obviously, and at least the main girl was smart enough to just play along with the fucking thing. And then even when Justin Long is an asshole, spoiler alert, and pushes the fucking girl off the top of the thing, I still liked him anyway, because he's fucking hilarious. Then he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just pushed her. I didn't know, but you're alive, yay. and then he's fucking split in fucking half. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Loved it. Detroit, baby. I think that's where that movie isn't it? Detroit.
Yep.
Fucking Detroit, baby. That's what it's like there for real. No, I don't know, maybe. But it might be. I don't know. Barbarian, number 4.
Number 4 for me is Scream 5. No way to sugarcoat it. This movie was a movie that I was very, very excited for. And I loved it. I saw it 3 times in the theaters. I genuinely love this movie. It's my second favorite Scream movie after the original. The first time I watched it, I had it right in the middle. I had it at number 3. And then after seeing it a second and third time, I was like, I think this is my favorite sequel. And I know that's not a hugely popular opinion. A lot of people liked it, but I still think most people would say, well, they'd at least put Scream 2 above it. And I get that. But for me, Scream 5 was just to come back 11 years after the most recent movie and to have it be as good as it was when everybody had forgotten about Scream. And to take it as seriously as they did and to merge new characters with the old characters and that whole finale. There's just so many great moments in that, like how's that torch bitch and I genuinely love how badass the OG characters are in it, and I really, really, really like Jenna Ortega as Tara. I'm not huge into Melissa Barrera as Sam. I mean, I could do without it. I mean, she's not a bad actress, but I don't think she gave a great performance in 5. She was just there. She was fine. But Jenna Ortega was incredible, and she's definitely a modern Scream queen, no matter what anybody says. She's great. So yeah, Scream 5, man. That's number 4 for me. I love the shit out of that movie.
You said it's your second favorite in the franchise?
Yep.
Okay. Mine too. Right there with you. We might have talked about this before, but what do you think? Do you like Scream 4?
I do. My least favorite is Scream 3. But even then, I would say all 5 Scream movies are at least decent. So it's a very consistent horror franchise where none of them are genuinely bad movies. But 4 is my second least, just because for all the things 4 does right, it does have some things that, like, I hate the way the movie looks. It literally looks like an Instagram filter. It's really jarring to watch. And I don't like Jill. I just don't. You. So many people are a fan of Jill, and I'm like, really? Your motivation was, wah, everybody knows who you are, and they don't know me. Wah. I was like, really? That's your motivation, you crybaby? But everything else about the movie, I really enjoy.
Okay. Thank you, because you're about the only person that I've talked to that doesn't like Jill. I thought she was one of the worst ghost faces in the whole franchise. A lot of people don't like Amber. Jill's fucking way worse. She just complains, fucking bitches and whines the whole entire time. The end when she's slamming her face on the mirrors and the fucking table, it takes me out of it. I'm just not interested anymore. But at least somebody else doesn't like Jill. Thank you. Oh, so Jamie doesn't like Joey? Wait. Good. She doesn't like Joe either. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't stand her. Can't stand her.
We're going to do some flip-flop, and I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go with Scream. Absolutely loved it. Like you said, it's my second favorite in the franchise. Everybody saw the killers coming a mile away. I must have been stupid. I didn't know it was going to be Amber, and maybe I didn't want it to be Ricky. I really liked him, and I didn't want it to be him, so maybe that's why I was kind of overlooking him being the killer.
Same. I actually said to my wife while we were in the theater, I said, in the third act, I was like, I really hope he doesn't die. I want him in the next one. And then when it was revealed, I was like, son of a bitch.
So it was fun. A lot of people don't like the motivation in this movie either. They just wanted to get the theater, the movie companies to make a better stab film. I know it might have been weak. It didn't bother me. It really didn't. It brought toxic fandom, which is a real fucking thing. Obviously, you talked about it on your channel. It's a real thing, and for them to put it in the movie, very meta, but very, honest truth. Like you said, I did. Jenna Ortega was great. Sam, her acting was kind of, a little iffy for me. when I rewatched it the other day, it's kind of just like she's just literally reading off a script and not really acting at all. But that might just be me. Sydney wasn't in it that much, and that's fine with me. Gail wasn't in it that much. That's fine with me. Heartbroken about Dewey, of course. Nobody wants Dewey to go. But the way they did it, I thought it was done tastefully. Yes, no way Amber could do that. She's like 80 pounds. She stabbed him and then stabbed him again. I mean, anybody could fucking do it if they stab you twice in the front and the back. It was,
yeah.
She didn't lift them up. She just kind of ripped the knife up. So I get it. And, people think it was Stu. Every time I watch that scene, I'm kind of like, maybe. But he's not tall enough. But then again, they say the ghost face is just ghost face. It's not the person underneath. So you got to look at it that way, I guess. But, you can't look at it and be like, that's definitely not Amber in there when it's fucking 6'4". You know what I mean? It doesn't. But it didn't take away from the movie for me. I loved everything about it. The score, the soundtrack was great. The kills were great. A lot more vicious stabbing in this. And then Judy's son, I can't think of his name, when he got stabbed in the neck and you see it go out the back, I thought that looked freaking fantastic. I know, Courtney, Stu ain't dead, I'm telling you. Scream, it was number 2, but I flip-flopped it. Number 3, Scream.
Blu-ray Addict, Kirby will not be the opening kill of Scream 6. I can tell you that to anybody that wants to know. I'm not going to give anything away, but I can tell you guys, because I was worried about that myself, because I love Kirby and I didn't want her to die. I'm not going to say whether or not she dies, but she is not the opening of Scream 6. So rest easy. You will get a decent amount of Kirby in this movie, I promise.
You got the inside in this movie too?
Yeah. Not... There's things I intentionally avoided, but I didn't want to know who the killer or killers were. I didn't want to know who dies or anything like that, except I asked a few questions about who lives. Does this person live? Does this person live? Be hopeful about Kirby. Be hopeful about Kirby, guys. But yeah, number 3 for me is going to be one that is perfect to kind of jump right off from Scream 5, because Scream 5 was ahead of its time by 9 months when it came to the toxic fandom. Y'all know how much I love this movie. I can't lie to myself, though, and say it's my favorite, because it's not. There was 2 other movies this year that really, really, really did it for me. But number 3 is Halloween Ends. And, I mean, I have gone to bat for this movie so many times. I've been called every name in the book. I've been told I'm not a real fan, that I should just die. All this stuff. I honestly don't give a shit at this point. If it didn't work for you, I completely get that. I respect that. I understand that. And I'll never try to change your mind. That's your mind. You're allowed to have your opinion just as much as I'm allowed to have mine. And in my opinion, it's one of my favorite Halloween movies. It's different. It's unique. It's fresh. It is the only movie of the David Gordon Green trilogy that actually had a story that it knew what it was doing from start to finish. Halloween 2018, they didn't really need to. It was, okay, Michael breaks out again and goes after Laurie. Okay, well, we've seen that, and that was nothing new. Halloween Kills was, there's not really any story. He's just on the loose in Haddonfield killing people, which is fun, but this is the first movie out of the trilogy where David Gordon Green and them had to go, we have to literally create a story. We have to do something different. What's going on in Haddonfield? What is the gripper here? What's the, and I dug it. It was a really good narrative. It was really well acted. I loved Corey. There was a lot about the movie that, and especially it being my favorite franchise, I just take some damn risks and switch things up. Please, for the love of God, give me something new, because we're 13 movies in. I've seen most ways you've taken this series. Some of them are good, some of them not so good. Just give me something new. And they did, and I thought they delivered. So I loved Halloween Ends, and that's number 3 for me.
You're one of those fans, like Halloween Ends. What a fucking you're not even real.
I know.
Fucking faker. My number 2!
Yeah.
My number 2 is Halloween Ends, because it's fucking awesome. I just rewatched it yesterday. Wanted to check out the 4K. Beautiful. Wanted to watch the deleted scenes. They are pretty fucking lame, actually. I was hoping they were going to be cooler, but they were pretty lame. But I don't care. Halloween Ends is amazing. Like you said, I fucking talk about it on here all the time. You know, I don't get the hate that you get because you get more people to watch you than me, but that's okay.
No, Matt, it's not that. It's that when you are very steadfast and you're very like when you praise something or tear something down vehemently, that's when you get the hate, you know. And I was praising it very vehemently, and I was like, look, I just don't see some of this shit that you guys are complaining about, and that pisses people off because they're like, you're a fucking dumbass. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, whatever, dude. You know, that's like your opinion, bro. So, yeah.
I don't get it. I really, I mean, I guess I know there was a couple scenes that whenever I watched Wham, Mike was talking that they didn't shoot or film like a couple more kills here and there. Yeah, I get where people are coming from. They wanted a little bit more Myers in the movie. I get it. I mean, seeing him in the cave when he's getting all jacked up after killing fucking what the fuck's his name? I just fucking watched it. Mulaney. He's killing the cop Mulaney. He's getting all jacked up and fucking getting hulking up and shit. I wanted more of that. I really did. Something about that scene. The music kicks in. They got the lightning flashing and everything. And I don't know. You shouldn't get tingles from a fucking murderer killing people, but it fucking happens. It happens. I want to maybe a little bit more of that. But other than that, I loved Corey Cunningham. I really, really do. I loved him just as much as Michael in this movie. I loved Allison. I actually finally really loved Lori. I thought she was good in this movie for what she was asked to do. She just seemed like a real person in this movie compared to Kills being fucking crazy and 2018 being, you know, Terminator style. She seemed like a real person. Her chemistry with Hawkins, you really wanted them to hook up this entire time, and it just never happened. And then now that it's all over and done with, and they're like, hey, you want to go see those cherry blossoms? And then, which means they're going to fuck, maybe. I don't know.
No,
maybe.
yeah, no, they're fucking. They're fucking.
I like your face. Yeah, I like your face. Good stuff. Good chemistry. That whole grocery store scene. Yes, that's not a typical Halloween scene that's in a movie like that, but I didn't really care. Like, we've seen it all before. Like, we can't keep doing the same shit over and over again. I know we love Michael. I know we love Michael killing people, but if you like that, just go rewatch Halloween Kills because you're going to get a whole shit ton of it. And if you, Halloween 2018, kind of got the similar classic feel to the 78 version. So you got a whole variety of different avenues for this trilogy. And Ends is just different, and people don't like it. People don't like different. Well, they like different, just not when it pertains to Halloween and Michael Myers, they don't like different. But if this was another fucking movie, it'd probably be amazing. But because Michael Myers is, he's not even in this movie. This is a Corey Love movie. It was fine. Michael's all over this movie. The tension, there's atmosphere, there's definitely mood in this one compared to the other ones. The soundtrack is killer. When I first heard it, I didn't anticipate it being like my number one out of this trilogy, but I think it freaking is. Corey and Michael's song is amazing. John Carpenter nailed it again. I just can't get enough of Halloween Ends. I just feel a certain type of way when I watch that movie, and I don't know how to explain it. I just feel different when I watch it, and it's my number 2 for the year, and I wish it was number 1, but there's just one movie I like more, unfortunately.
All right, well, real quick, Blu-ray Addict. Michael got 3 kills in Halloween Ends. He killed Mulaney, Nurse Deb, and Corey. But I do hear what you're saying when, obviously, Corey gets the bulk of it and whatnot. But number 2 for me is one that was number 1 for a while that I never thought was going to get replaced. I really didn't, because this movie, from the moment I saw it, was just like super high up there for me. And that's X. X is, you know, I've seen a lot of people say, like, some people that weren't as big on it that were like, I mean, I don't understand, you know, the allure of it, the draw, like, it just seems like, you know, a slasher movie, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, it is. But one, I would argue it's a very competently made slasher movie. Like, it's a really good slasher movie, but it's the themes of the movie that really did it for me, that really made the movie resonate with me. You know, obviously you have the juxtaposition of Pearl, who she is older, and, you know, the movie is a lot about her being fearful and angry of losing her youth and her vitality, and
Mhm.
knowing she's coming to her end and not wanting to accept it, and kind of taking that out on these young people. And that is a theme that really resonates with me because I don't want to get old, I don't want to die. And then the juxtaposition with Maxine and her friends, where especially Maxine, though, like wanting to escape the repression of her household and wanting to live her life, and like understanding that life is short and that she's young and that she wants to basically grab life by the balls and do her own thing because she's young, and it's her life. And I think that those two themes going up against each other is just awesome. So Ty West, I have not seen a movie of his that I don't like. I really I think he's one of the best directors working today. So yeah, hands down, X is number 2.
Maybe I should rewatch X. Maybe I don't know if I'm missing something. I don't know. Maybe I was expecting something else. I think it's the fact. I guess it's like is it considered a slasher? I guess, kinda.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just a mask kind of guy when it comes to slashers. Maybe that's my problem. If they don't have a mask on, I just don't care. But maybe I'll give it another watch.
Fair.
Because when I think of slashers, I think of Jason, Ghostface, Michael, obviously. I don't really think of people who don't wear masks, even though there's a shit ton of them. But I don't know. Just maybe it's just me. But that X is Garrett's movie from Born to Be Rad, who's an awesome dude, and Brett from Good Real Hunting's favorite movie. And but Quentin, his favorite movie was Halloween Ends, and I forgot to mention these as well. Gary Rangel loves Scream 5. Shyam loves Scream 5. Gary Sims loves Scream 5. And LaMantra loves Scream 5. So a lot of Scream 5 love whenever I posted that the other day. And I don't blame you guys one bit. Not one bit. I just rewatched that the other day. Fucking fantastic. Okay, my number 1 is The Black Phone.
Really?
I don't know what. Yes, I'm not a slow burn guy. Everybody knows that. I don't like slow burns. But something about The Black Phone. I think I'm a sucker for Ethan Hawke because he was fantastic. He drew me in. I love the chemistry of the family. I love Finney. I love Finney's relationship with his sister. Their dad was an asshole, but then eventually, in the end, it's sad that it takes, those extreme circumstances to change him. But it was nice to see him come around and try to grow into the father that they deserve compared to the one he was being beforehand. But something about the Ethan Hawke as the grabber was fantastic. Just he was like so scary but charming at the same time. And he's like, wow, that guy's wearing a mask, but I feel like I can trust him. And I don't know what it was. He brought it, which he usually does. And this was giving me mad vibes of like Sinister, which I'm a huge fan of Sinister, so that probably had a little something to do with it as well. It just worked really well for me. Yes, there was not. I don't even know if there was even any kills in the movie because they didn't even show them except for his brother and a little bit of the aftermath from the kids that were in the room. You didn't actually get to see him do it. That would have been pretty cool if they did that, which I'm assuming they're probably going to make a prequel because this one did fairly well at the box office and critically, so there'll be another one coming, I'm assuming. But the mask, the changing of the mask that he had, and then that final, how Finney just took all the advice from all the phone calls and fucking laid it out perfectly. And fucking dropped him into that hole and fucking snapped his neck, and then the reuniting of him and his sister at the end got some goosebumps on my arms. It was a touching moment at the end, and something about The Black Phone it works for me. It's that 70s, late 70s / early 80s like look that it had. It was fantastic. It really looked the time. The music, the clothes, everything worked for me. The Black Phone, number 1. I just rewatched that a week ago to make sure, and it still holds up for me. So number 1, The Black Phone.
All right. Well, my number 1 is a movie that was not even on my radar until it almost came out, and I was like, "Oh, we'll see what this is all about." It was one that I I don't even know what to say. I was genuinely shocked that as I'm watching it, that this was a movie that got put into theaters. I think that it has a great score. I think it's super well acted. I think it's got great practical effects. I think it's got great cinematography. I think it's absolutely bonkers and batshit. And number one is Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 is a movie that I've just like knocked me on my ass. I watched the first one and I wasn't blown away by it. You know what I mean? I was like, I like art. I like some of the practical effects, but the acting wasn't really good. I didn't really care about any of the characters.
Oh,
it was really, there's really no plot. And Terrifier 2, just it upped the ante in all those areas. The acting was good. There was more of a plot. You like the characters. It felt like the movie that they wanted to make the first time. It felt like the movie where Damien Leone was sure of himself, and sure of what he wanted to put to screen. And a lot of people are like, it should have been a little shorter. Yeah, maybe. But like, honestly, dude, like come on. Like it's awesome. I mean, it's just like the fact that you're seeing that kind of movie in a movie theater, like that movie got a theatrical release. That's insane. And it's a huge win for horror. It's a huge win for horror fans. It's a huge win for, low budget filmmaking. And it's a huge win for original ideas. Terrifier 2, just an absolutely one of my favorite theater experiences I've ever had. I mean, just genuinely, I think it is a phenomenal movie. And yeah, it's my number one of the year.
Once you said it was off your radar, I was kind of like, what the fuck is this going to be? I was like, what else did we not talk about? I can't believe I didn't I should have known it was going to be Terrifier 2. You love that movie.
Yeah, dude, I did a short, because by the time, with it being 2.5 hours and the closest theater near me that was showing it was like 25 minutes away from my house. I saw it opening Thursday night, and I didn't get out of the theater till 11. I was like, with driving home and then trying to, edit up a review, it probably wouldn't be up till like 1 a.m. I was like, I'll just do a short. And I did a short on YouTube, just a minute long, right in my car. As soon as I got out of the theater, it got like 12,000 views. Like, holy
damn.
Shit. Yeah. And that reaction that I had initially out of the theater was authentic. That's just how I felt. It took me by surprise. It grabbed me by the balls and it twisted them. So yeah.
Blu-ray Addict said, did anybody walk out of the theater when you guys saw it?
I had 2 people, and I can't say that it was because they thought it was gross or whatever. I genuinely don't know, but it was a couple that was a few rows in front of me. They did leave at some point, but no, everybody else, collectively in my theater though, when he cut the dude's dick off, a lot of people in my theater were like, oh no. And I was too. I gave like an audible reaction, like, don't cut dicks off. Not cool. Yeah, it was a great theater experience. Like, everybody was so into it. It was awesome. And like, when he comes up behind Sienna and he's got the horn and he like raises it slowly to her ear and she's like, don't. And he does it, like, literally everybody laughed. It was hilarious.
Kid.
Yeah. So Terrifier 2. Just a phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie.
He's Art's pretty much like your kids when you tell them not to do something and he fucking does it anyway. That's what he is.
Yep.
It was I don't know. It was fine. we're on opposite ends on that one. It was fine. Like, there was a lot of gore, I guess. That was cool. Which usually I love very much, but I just didn't get into it as much as everybody else. And that's fine. I'm not shitting on it. I mean, I bought it, so obviously I didn't hate it that much. I wasted money on it. But
you didn't waste money. You invested money in a piece of art. That's what you did.
Steelbook is what that was.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking Halloween one. That is one beautiful fucking case. I'll give them mad props for that.
Did you see the alternate Steelbook that they're coming out with in January?
No.
For Halloween Ends? Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. Yep.
Why do they keep doing this to me? Then I gotta
make more money.
I know.
Yeah.
I should buy a bunch of these fucking steel books, because then in fucking 5 years you can't find them, and then people sell them on eBay for $100 a piece.
Yep.
Make a lot of money. Fuck. It depends what it looks like. I might buy it in. Did they come out with the box set? Are they coming out with a box set, or did they?
It's a 4K trilogy box set. Yeah.
I don't want that.
Neither do I.
I want the whole. I'll take the whole set. Now that we got the last trilogy.
Oh, we'll get a new one. We'll get a new set soon enough.
So
I did. It's out of print now and sells for like $500. So
no shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, I could get it on like a fake website for $39.99.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you search, you'll find it. It's like Blu-rays.com, $39.99. I did not fall for it because I'm not going to do that.
Don't fall for it.
I'll get a bunch of fucking Blake discs in a cardboard box with Michael Myers' face on it.
You'll get the original Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah, but sad news is we're not getting a Halloween movie this year coming up, which breaks my heart. But
we are not. But I can tell you that there are things in the works. I can tell you that with 100% certainty. They're already looking forward to the future, and I have it on good authority. I mean, we had Sean Clark on the podcast a few weeks ago, and let's just say they're definitely looking at expanding the universe of Halloween 3. So, yeah, we'll see if that comes to fruition.
I mean, we kind of saw that coming, to be honest. Which I'm fine with.
They're going to let Michael rest for a little bit, and
that's fine. They shouldn't, but they will. He'll be back. And hopefully they get James Drew Courtney again, because he's fucking amazing. So, or they could get Aaron Armstrong. He's good too. He did a good job.
Or Busta Rhymes. We'll see.
Fucking dreadlocks. Busta Rhymes is a big fucking dude. Last time I seen him, he looks bigger than he did before. So I don't think that's gonna work. Especially when he's doing some roundhouse kicks instead. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
As long as we don't bring Lori back, we're in good shape. She's done. Right? I hope. Gotta be.
Oh, she's done. She's done.
Thank you. We got Scream coming out, so that's important.
Yeah.
3 months away. Looking forward to it very much. Excited to see what they do in the Big Apple. Don't give it the Jason Takes Manhattan treatment, even though I do like that movie. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited to see that one. I really am. I don't know. It's like we talked about earlier. It's the surprise movies that are the best movies usually. So hopefully there's some movies coming out we know nothing about and they deliver. I know you're getting Maxine. I know you're probably jacked to see that, and everybody else in the X.
I would say Maxine and Evil Dead Rise are my favorite. Are the ones I'm looking most forward to.
Not an Evil Dead fan either, but I'll watch it anyway. I did just buy the Steelbook because I just can't help it. They're just so pretty. And it was only $7. So what the fuck?
That's another franchise like Scream, where I don't think there's a bad entry. I really don't.
I like the remake the best.
I love Evil Dead 2013.
I saw it first.
That movie.
Right? Why? But,
yeah.
Wait, and I just bitched about a gory movie earlier, and that movie's gory as fuck. My bad. I'm contradicting myself over and over again. And I liked Halloween Kills, and now it's pretty gory too. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it was a good year for horror, and 2023 looks like it's going to be another good year for horror. So I would say as horror fans, we're eating pretty well, and we should embrace this, and we should live in the moment, and we should go support these movies in theaters so we can continue to get good horror. So, yeah.
I was going to say, like you said, they're making a lot of money. It isn't the horror industry. Every movie comes out, it's making a decent amount of money. Even look at Terrifier 2. What did it make, like $12 million in a very, very limited release?
Yeah.
There's money to be made. As soon as we get the Crystal Lake TV show, hopefully that knocks some sense into them, and then we'll get a movie, and it'll go back to the theater. But I think it will, as long as the TV show is successful, because there's a lot of money to be made, and we can't let it go to waste.
No, and it'll be successful. I promise you that.
It has to. I mean, fuck. Halloween 2018 made $250 million. If Jason comes back and it's good, I don't know if it'll make $250 million. Probably not, but it would definitely do over $100 million. I would say.
It could do 200.
Think?
I believe it could do 200. Absolutely.
I don't know.
It wouldn't do better than 2018, but it could break 200. I mean, Smile broke 200. It could break 200.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That kind of breaks my heart. That made way more money than Halloween Ends. Bastard.
Yeah, but the rule of sequels is diminishing returns every time. So you knew Ends. I mean, Ends broke 100 million. That's a win. I mean, it's a win. So
good enough for me.
Yeah,
dude. I like those obnoxious twins are back for Scream 6. I like them. I didn't mind them. I didn't really hate anybody.
I like Chad.
You didn't like Mindy?
She was fine. She didn't stand out to me as much as she did to some people. She was fine, but Chad was hilarious. Like Chad, the whole thing when him and his girlfriend are on the couch and she's like trying to get him to go upstairs, and he's like,
no.
I'm like 90% sure that you're not the killer, but yeah.
It's fine. I don't know. Most people. I don't really see too much hate on Scream 5 compared to Halloween Ends. I think it's a Scream movie. It did Scream things. So it doesn't really get as much hate. Halloween Ends was different, so people hate. But it's fine. It's always going to be there. Whenever the people change their mind in a couple years, it'll be there for you to come back and watch. And then you can watch it alongside us and have a great time.
Yep.
It's fucking amazing. Just saying. I think we talked about this before. It's your favorite out of the trilogy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hands down.
I did have 20. I think I did move Ends to first. Something about it. Something fucking about it.
It's just sexual.
It is.
Yep.
It is. It's good stuff. Michael's having orgasms in sewers, and it's just fucking pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you watch the special features on the Blu-ray?
Mine's still not here yet. But that's because I didn't buy it myself, because somebody told me they wanted to buy it for me as a gift. So it's in transit to me right now. So
well, good for them for buying it for you. Good people.
Yeah.
Good fucking people.
I love it. Can't complain.
Antona says his favorite is Halloween Kills. That is my last, but it's still good. That's your second, I'd say, probably, huh?
Yeah.
You love Halloween Kills. It's good fucking shit. All right. Before we go, what's your worst horror movie you watched this year? Besides, well, you're probably gonna say Jeepers Creepers 4, like everybody.
Yeah, but dude, honestly, I knew Jeepers Creepers Reborn wasn't gonna be very good, so I wasn't disappointed. And it was like, at some points, it was so bad it was funny and like actually enjoyable. So I honestly probably wouldn't put that as my worst. I'd have to really think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was one that I watched this year that I was genuinely like, why did I just subject myself to that? I'd rather be dead. Like, I really don't know if there was one. Now, part of that is because I avoid movies like that.
True.
I would say right now, off the top of my head, the worst one I saw was the Terror Train remake on Tubi. That movie fucking sucked. So, whereas like Jeepers Creepers Reborn is bad, but like it knows it's bad, and it's like so cheesy that it gets to the point where it's like, this is kind of fun at times. Like, it's not a good movie, but like Terror Train was just fucking awful. It wasn't fun. It wasn't well acted. It was just uninspired shit. Like, yeah.
That's what I heard. I wasn't a huge fan of the first Terror Train, and then I listened to somebody's review of the new one, and they said if you just want to watch it, just watch the fucking original one because it's the same damn thing. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch. Didn't even waste my time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the worst movie I watched was probably Firestarter, and
I haven't seen it.
I didn't finish it. I watched about a half an hour, and it was fucking boring, so I shut it off. So I'm gonna go with that one. I mean, I'm a sucker for Zac Efron, but that movie was just rough.
I hear you. That's what I heard from people. I haven't watched it, and it sounds like I'm better off for not having watched it. So
Dash Cam was one of the worst. I've heard that also. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Dash Cam's really bad, and Jeepers Creepers Reborn. That's like the two that I've heard. In they/them. In Men. Also, I forgot about Men. I didn't see that either though. So.
No, did I?
Terror Train 2. Oh, I did see that. Why they're making another one, I don't know. Because they cost $6 to make.
Yeah.
They cost fucking $6.
Yeah.
Good enough. All right, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you coming on tonight and talking top 10, even though you just did it last night. But I do appreciate it. And
yeah, sorry I took a nap and was running a few minutes behind.
You're good. You're good. Naps are important. Naps are fucking important. When your kids aren't there, you gotta take advantage of it. Which my kids are always here, so I don't have that choice. But
yeah,
that's okay. They're fucking awake right now. They should be sleeping. Whatever.
Well, yeah, go take care of that.
That's probably what I'll do. I'll go up. My wife will be like, "You can go over now." They won't listen to me, and then they pretty much tell me to shut the F up in a nice way, and then I just walk out the door and go to my room. Sorry, kids.
Yeah, right, man. Just reach out to me whenever you want to have me back on. It's always fun, and look forward to meeting with you again.
All right, buddy. You have a good night, and also have a good New Year's, buddy, because I won't see you till next year. So,
hey, you too, man. Yeah, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everybody watching. And yeah, let's kick ass in 2023. Let's have another good year of horror.
Let's go. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.